And congressional leaders say that they are hoping to craft it within the week. The centerpiece would be those cash payments or tax rebates of $1,000 or more that would get sent to hard-hit American workers right away.
We're going big, and that's the way it'll be.
President Trump now pushing for quick relief as restaurants and stores shutter from coast to coast. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin.
Americans need cash now, and the president wants to get cash now. And I mean now, in the next 2 weeks.
It's part of a massive economic infusion now in the works.
This is a remarkable achievement
that could ultimately dwarf the $800 billion stimulus package that Congress passed during the last recession in 2009.
The goal here is to deal with this emergency created by this pandemic.
We can't have people bankrupt because of a mortgage payment they can't make because they were laid off.
In Ohio alone, more than 48,000 people submitted unemployment claims in just the last 2 days, a 9-fold increase from last week. At this burger joint in Washington, D.C., manager Rob Lateris has been forced to slash his workers' hours and his own.
We have a lot of employees that have families to support, and I think any dollar in the pocket is going to help them out.
Also on the table, loan guarantees and tax deferrals for the hardest hit industries like travel and hospitality. Marriott has already started to furlough tens of thousands of workers and close some hotels. Washington's Reagan National Airport was a ghost town today. So was New York's LaGuardia.
This is worse than 9/11. For the airline industry, this is they are almost ground to a halt.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he is keeping senators in town until they can get this bill done. The concern is, Nora, that if he lets everyone go home, it'll be difficult to get them back here to vote, given all the new restrictions on movement and travel.
Shalom, like about undergoing praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakakadash, like the abundance to our apostles and elders, great millstone. Salutations to all you sincere brothers pushing his word out across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is entitled, The Digital Dollar is the Precursor to the Mark of the Beast. And this is an article from Forbes.com. This was published on March 23rd, 2020. Coronavirus stimulus offered by House Financial Services Committee creates new digital dollar. So not too long ago, by the banking elites, what they told Trump to do, go ahead and offer this massive stimulus package to the economy, to these American sheeple. This stimulus package is about $2 trillion. So these American sheeple thinking they're going to be able to get $1,000, a little bit more, and they can be able to just spend it however they want to, but not knowing that it's not going to be a physical check or cash. This is going to be digital, which meaning that it's going to be traceable. They're going to be able to see wherever you do with this money. So it's a digital dollar. And this is like that new advanced technology that Esau is trying to do before he goes into implementing the microchip, which is the mark of the beast in the scriptures. So the word precursor goes into a forerunner or a foreshadower. And that's exactly what Esau is trying to do before he implements this mark of the beast, which is the microchip, according to the scriptures. It says the bill establishes a digital dollar, which it defines as a balance expressed as a dollar value consisting of digital ledger entries that are recorded as liabilities in the accounts of any Federal Reserve bank. So it's expressed as a dollar value. Just like when they started adding the Federal Reserve note, when the gold certificate and the silver certificate was popping, they slowly but surely started adding the Federal Reserve note into the circulation. So people was thinking like, okay, it does the same thing as a silver certificate. You know, it has a dollar bill on there as well. So these people were just spending it like it was the same thing as the gold certificate or the silver certificate. So then Esau, as the devil he is, he started flooding the circulation with the Federal Reserve notes. The next thing you know, they pulled out the gold certificate and the silver certificate. And that's when you got the Federal Reserve notes as you have today. It says, an electronic unit of value redeemable by an eligible financial institution as determined by the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. Additionally, a digital dollar wallet is identified as a digital wallet or account maintained by a Federal Reserve Bank on behalf of any person that represents holdings in an electronic device or service that is used to store digital dollars that may be tied to a digital or physical identity. So what this so-called white man, who are the biblical Edomites, What he's trying to do, he's trying to make everything traceable. He wants to see everything that's moving on this planet Earth. And that's going to this digital dollar new technology, which is going to pretty much flow into this microchip. They want to trace everyone. Now you can be able to do business with someone and you want to cut their grass or do some type of service for them. They'll just pay you. They'll give you, $50, $100, or however much that service charges. Then you go about your business. See, Esau's trying to cut that out the way, and now he wants to be able to trace everything. So that's why he's bringing in this new digital dollar technology. And that links up with the scriptures, 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter and the 4th verse. Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. And that only fits the so-called Caucasian race, starting with the bacon elites, the biblical Edomites. So what they're doing, they're trying to be like the Most High on all type of levels. You see him with the surveillance cameras and the satellites. They want to track every move that what you do. That's why they are called Big Brother. They watch everything. That's why the scripture says in the Apocrypha that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. That's what Esau is doing at left-hand side. He's trying to be like Yahweh Bashan Shai. And the eyes of the Lord is going to the angels, how they report everything that's going on this earth, and they report it back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So that's what they're doing with these different surveillance cameras all across the cities in America, and also with the satellites. So now they want to be able to push that even further. They want to be able to trace everyone, every move, what they do, what they're spending, things of that sort. Then it's going to trickle on down to, by receiving this microchip, they can be able to trace everything. They can be able to see everything. So Esau is being the opposer, or being as the sinister side, which is the left-hand side. He's trying to mimic everything that Yahweh Bashan Shai is trying to do. So that's how he does things on the carnal side, which is that left-hand side. So back to the article, it says, a mandate also requires all member banks establish a pass-through digital dollar wallet to all customers eligible for the stimulus. Member banks include those banks that are members of the Federal Reserve and regulated by the Fed. Additionally, non-member state banks, those that are not members of the Federal Reserve and regulated by the FDIC, could opt into offer pass-through digital dollars wallets as well. The Federal Reserve banks themselves will also make available a digital dollar wallet to any U.S. person eligible for the payments as well. Additionally, the U.S. Postal Service will aim to help unbanked individuals and or those without proper ID to establish their identity be provided a digital dollar account and will set up ATMs for customers to access their funds. So Esau is just doing nothing but he's rocking these people right back to sleep. These people are coming more aware. They seeing these different military tanks are coming across their different cities. So now Esau, as being the devil that he is, he's not moving and not doing anything right now with those military tanks. He's acting like he's helping the people. So pretty soon he's going to pounce on the people. So right here, this situation, he's acting like he's trying to help the people out while they in this self-quarantine situation and abiding by these stay-at-home orders. And so these people think I could be able to use this money and do what I need to do. So these people are already restless of being at home all day with these children. So now Esau is trying to implement a new system. That's a digital dollar. And this is pretty much going to a cashless society. This is all the plans of Esau. But ultimately, this is all the plans of Yahweh Bashan Shai. So he can put the spirit on this so-called white man to be able to go and try to succeed with his enterprise, his new world order. But according to the scriptures, that Yahweh Bashan Shai is only going to let this so-called white man get to a point that he's going to cut him off. So as it says in the book of Joel, the 5th chapter and the 12th verse, how Yahweh Bashan Shai is going to disappoint the devices of the crafty, how they can't perform their enterprise, which means that Yahweh Bashan Shai, he's going to stop this so-called white man trying to achieve this new world order, which is that wicked new world order. And that's when Yahweh is going to send back Yahweh Shai to start his righteous new world order. And he's going to upbring the elect of nation Israel right along with him. So that's going to be the true new world order that we're looking forward to. But majority of our people, they're being rocked to sleep. They are restless in the situation going on with this self-quarantine. So they are counting on Trump or oppression to get back into what they were doing as being slaves. They're looking forward to going back to work and just being those hamsters in the wheel. So this is the book of Psalm 141, verse 9. Keep me from the snares of which they have laid for me. So a snare is like a gin. It's like a trap. So as the hopeful elect, we had that eye salve, which is the spiritual sight that we could be able to see the moves that this so-called white man is trying to do. He's doing nothing but trying to implement his new world order, this cashless society, so he can go ahead by microchipping everyone on this planet Earth. That's his new world order that he's trying to accomplish. But we can see that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashar Shai. So that's a snare that's laid upon 2/3 of the nation of Israel by this stimulus package that they are trying to present to our people and the rest of these American sheeple, that they are thinking that this is something that the government is trying to help them with, but not knowing that this is going to be their downfall. So keep me from the snares which they have laid for me and the gins of the workers of iniquity. And that's starting with the elites of the so-called Caucasian race, these banking elites. Let the wicked fall into their own nets. So 2/3 of the nation of Israel, we already know these other nations are already through. So 2/3 of the nation of Israel, let them be falling into their own nets. So you want to trust America, you're going to die along with America. So let the wicked fall into their own nets. While as that, I will thou escape. So that shows you how merciful Yahweh Bashar Shai is. Even in these times with this stay-at-home orders, you have time to yourselves now. You're not bothered by work. You know, you might have your children around, things of that sort, but you don't have all that pressure on you for work right now. So you have opportunity to listen to the truth. The prophets are still out there by pushing videos out, letting you know who you are, letting you know what's the real situation going on right now, what's the future beholds. But majority of our people, they are still caught up into this system. So therefore, they're going to die along with this system. It's simply and plain at that. And this is the book of Psalm, the 55th chapter and the 21st verse. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. So yeah, we want to offer you this massive stimulus package, which is the biggest in U.S. history. We want to help you out. Whenever a so-called white man, especially a so-called white man in a suit and tie, tell you they want to help you, that's the most dangerous so-called white man ever. That's the true boogeyman right there. So the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. And you see the situation going on right now. Military troops are coming more and more into these cities of America. But so they're trying to act like they're trying to give aid and help the people out. But in actuality, they're about to get ready to lock down people, put them in concentration camps. So that's that war that's in his heart, it's in his spirit. And that's just how Yahweh Bashar Shai has spiritually programmed this so-called white man to be. No one can be able to help him or pray for him or try to talk to him, you know, try to help him get better. That's just how he's spiritually programmed. Just like you have a video game, you can create your own player. You can make them however you want to. That's exactly how Yahweh Bashar Shai did with these so-called Caucasians. He had spiritually programmed them to be the wicked, to be the adversary, to be the antagonist. His words were softer than oil, yet with their drawn swords. It's the second Ezra, the 9th chapter and the 9th verse. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways. So this is going to 2/3 of the nation of Israel who being stiff-necked and hard-headed. You are being a pathetic case. You relying on the government, you banking on this so-called stimulus package, hoping and praying that things get better in America so you can get back to your jobs, you can get back to happy hour, you can get back to these different sporting events, you can get back to traveling, so you can get back and enjoying the delicacies of America. So you're going to be in a pitiful case because you relying on the devil. And they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. So you live throughout your whole lifetime pretty much relying on the government. You know, a lot of our people receive Social Security, disability. You know, they rely on their 401k, their retirement, things of that sort. So you're going to be in a pitiful case when Esau drops his dollar and he's going to go ahead with his new world order by implementing a cashless society, going to this digital dollar, then implementing this microchip. And they that have loathed my law, which they had yet liberty. So you despise the ways of Yahweh Bashar Shai by not listening to his men out there, his prophets. So you have liberty right now. You have the privilege right now to listen to the prophets. But you choose to see what Trump is talking about and hoping and praying that things will get better for you in America, in your captivity. And when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not but despised it. So when all hell breaks loose, Yahweh Bashar Shai is going to despise you when you start calling upon God. You're going to be praying things of that sort. He's not going to listen to you because you had your opportunity right now to listen to his prophets. Verse 12, the same must know it at the death by pain. So 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they're going to receive a harsh payment. And And that's going to these different scourges that Yahweh Basham Shai is going to bring upon this planet Earth. So going back to the title of this lesson, that the digital dollar is the precursor for the mark of the beast. This is pretty much the end goal for the elites. They want to be able to track every single person on this earth. And this is Revelation 13 chapter and the 16th verse. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And the word all goes into the Greek word pas, which means every individual. So you see right now the power that Yahweh Basham Shai has bestowed upon this so-called white man, how he has made nations stop doing and maneuvering in their way of business. Everybody pretty much on lockdown right now. So that lets you know that this so-called white man are the biblical Edomites. You don't see these other nations having that type of power to be able to have rank in other countries and doing the things that they do. That's why it says in the book of Isaiah, is this the man that made nations tremble? That's talking about these biblical Edomites. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And the word mark goes to the Greek word karama, which means an imprinted mark, and that's their microchip. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Verse 18, here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 666. So this beast is going to this Edomite system, NATO, the EU, America, and his number is 666. So this coronavirus, the word coronavirus, Esau always goes by numerical value because Yahweh Basham Shai goes by numbers. So on the right hand, Yahweh Basham Shai, he deals with numbers. On the left hand side, Esau try to mimic the Most High and Yahweh Shai, he goes by numbers too. So this word coronavirus, the numerical value, it goes into 666. So this could be the perfect tactic that Esau is going to use to push this microchip being implemented on this planet Earth. He has the people fear it right now. These people are asking for martial law to be implemented. I'm hearing Jake in my workplace saying that they should just go ahead and blow these bridges up so this disease can't travel any further. So these people, they are crying for martial law. So Yahweh Basham Shai, he's going to bring that pain to 2/3 of the nation of Israel. And another point I want to add right here on Edelman Online for stimulus, it says plural stimuli, originally as a medical term, something that goads a lazy organ, often the male member, from a modern use of Latin stimulus, a goad, a pointed stick, figuratively a sting, a pain, incitement, spur, point, prick, pierce, general sense of something that excites or arouses the mind or spirit, which goes into the word stimulate. So these people are stimulated by this stimulus package because they in a restless spirit right now. So they are kind of aroused and getting excited that this can be able to help them in their current situation, dealing with bills or things of that sort. But right here, it also says that a pointed stick or a pierce. And they can lead right to Isaiah the 36th chapter and the 6th verse, going to that broken reed, which is that microchip. So this stimulus package right now is going to this digital dollar, and ultimately it's going to go into this microchip, which is the New World Order plan these elites men want to do for many, many years. So that's the point of this lesson. New digital dollar is the precursor for the mark of the beast, or the microchip. This is going to a cashless society where the Federal Reserve notes will no longer be in use, which you people go so hard for, you worship so much. It's about to be obsolete. It's about to be a new currency, which is going to that microchip. So I'm going to leave another video. It's going to give you a little bit more insight on this new digital dollar that's being presented. And with that, I hope y'all be edified. Shalom.
Now, the thing that I've found when I go to read about this stimulus package is there's a common theme that I'm finding in here. No matter who's introducing it or what bill that I'm seeing to look at, they're all talking about a digital dollar. So they want a digital dollar in the system. The banking system has reached zero. The Federal Reserve has hit the lower bound, and they need digital dollars in the system. The Fed is talking about it, the IMF is talking about it, and now this new stimulus plan is definitely going to introduce, at least from what I can see, they are going to introduce a digital dollar into the system. Now, whether it's loaded up on debit cards or how it's going to work, they plan on taking the dollar into digital territory. Now, at first, nobody's going to really notice because everybody's going to be like, well, a digital dollar is the same as a regular dollar, and it doesn't matter if it's in the bank or if it's in your hand. Nobody's going to really notice any difference in it. Very much like when the Federal Reserve notes were first introduced into circulation, nobody could really tell the difference between a Federal Reserve note and a silver certificate because they both did the same thing. They both said $1 on it, and nobody seemed to really care if you had a dollar or a Federal Reserve note. But once the Federal Reserve notes had flooded the entire system, now all of a sudden, all the gold certificates and silver certificates had to get pulled out of circulation, and all that we were left with was Federal Reserve notes. So they flood the system. They start by, introducing something that says, hey, this is a benefit for you. Like with the Federal Reserve note, they wanted to make the system, the currency more elastic, saying that during bad times, we want to be able to inject money into the system, and then during good times, we'll pull that money back out because there's not enough silver and gold to expand the currency during times where the economy is running slow. See, that was their initial claim to introducing the Federal Reserve note. But after they had printed up so many Federal Reserve notes that there was no way that you could cash in all the Federal Reserve notes and get the gold out, they said, okay, well, guess what? You're going to have to turn in all the gold, and we won't have gold in the system any longer. We're just going to have these Federal Reserve notes and silver, and then eventually they took the silver out too. So all they had to do is just get that little bit in there at first and then just flood the system with it. And that's what they're going to do with the stimulus plan. They plan on getting a digital dollar introduced with this stimulus project, with the stimulus plan. And once they do that, it'll only take a few years down the road and we're going to find ourselves stuck with no cash in the system and nothing but digital dollars. I'll leave links down in the description for this and go check it out yourself. I'll leave links to the IMF blog that talks exactly about how they want to introduce negative interest rates into your bank account using these digital dollars. I will leave a link down in there for the recent bill that has talked about using these digital dollars and how to stimulate the economy with them, and they all do it for the benefit of the people. All right? But it's not going to be a benefit after a couple of years. It's going to be a very big burden. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that.